Slime farms are criminally underrated. Truthfully, slime farms are one of the best farms in the game, but for some reason, hardly anyone makes them. So how about I explain to you why slime farms are super overpowered, and we make one ourselves. Well, my name is JWhisp, and here we are back in the hardcore world, and things have been going great. In the last episode, we built a massive and overpowered iron farm, and during our live streams, we've also added this sniffer island to our zoo, filled with tons of the new flowers, pottery, and some different biomes for our little sniffers to enjoy. These guys just make me so happy. I love them. So our first step for a slime farm is finding a good area to build this farm. What we need to look for is a spawn chunk, and in Minecraft, that's only a few of the chunks around us. So to more easily find slime chunks, we are going to use Chunkbase. So here we have Chunkbase, and Chunkbase is a website which can show you a 2D map of your world. All you need to do is enter your seed, and bam, automatically it shows you everything you could ever want to know about your world. So what we can do is disable all these little buttons up here except for the slime chunk button, which is right here. And then if we zoom in, all these green chunks here are slime chunks. You can hover over them to see the exact coordinates, and you need to build your farm inside one of these chunks. Or if you're lucky, you can build your farm on top of an area with many chunks connected like you can see right here. Now, if you don't want to bother with going to a slime chunk, you can actually just go to a mangrove swamp or a swamp biome, and slimes will just spawn there anyway. They will spawn as long as the light level is under 7, so during the nighttime or just in any shady area. And interestingly enough, slime spawning is also affected by the moon. When it's a full moon, more slimes will spawn in the swamp, which I just find to be super interesting. So although swamps sort of fit the slime theme better, I'd rather build my slime farm somewhere around here, close to my base. And whereas this area is all mountainous and forested, this area right over here is pretty flat and nice. So I think what we should do is head down around here and see if there's any slime chunks around here, which would be nice to build a slime farm. Okay, so according to Chunkbase, this chunk I'm in right here and this chunk should both be slime chunks. Now, I will say if you do want to build your own slime farm, I would probably recommend you build it over the ocean. The reason building it over the ocean would be so much better is simply just because when you build it over the ocean, you have much less caves to spawn proof. We really want to center all the mob spawning on just the slimes, and so by building it on land, I'm gonna have to do some extra spawn proofing by going through all the nearby caves and lighting them up. But for me, it's worth it because I want mine to be right near my base. Also because I want to build a big cute slime right here for everyone to see. So we have these two chunks right here, and I chose these two chunks right next to each other because I'd rather build a slime farm that's 2 chunks instead of 1 chunk, just to sort of increase the rates. So let's head back to our house and collect some materials. And I want to explain to you why slime farms are just so good. So one of the obvious reasons is because you can get slime blocks. Not only are slime blocks a really unique looking block, but they're also really unique mechanically. You can bounce on them, they jiggle, they negate fall damage, and they're just really fun. Of course, you need slime balls to create sticky pistons, which are useful in many farms, including making automatic piston doors, which is something I want to do for a build pretty soon. You can also use slime balls to create leads and magma cream, which can be used for fire resistance potions, which are both fairly rare items and definitely aren't the easiest to get. And in order to breed frogs, you also need slime balls. So as you can see, slime balls are used for many things, and most people don't really use them too often. The main reason I'm building this farm is because I actually want a frog farm for froglights. Well, it's more like a magma cube farm and the frogs eat them, but you know. Froglights are a very unique and very pretty light source, and I want a lot of them. But in order to do that, I'm gonna need a lot of frogs, which means a lot of slime balls. So we've got everything we need, and I'm not really using a tutorial for this farm. I'm sort of just building a slime farm based on how I know to do it, and I'll make all my explanations fairly general, so anyone that wants to follow along can for any amount of chunks or any size farm they want. So anyways, this is the first chunk I'm going to start with, so I'm going to head down to a fairly low Y level. I believe the best or the only option is really below Y level 40. Also, the design I'm going to use is stackable, so I'm going to make it once, but if I decide I want any more or less slime farms, I can make the farm a little higher or a little lower with more layers to increase the spawn rate. Okay, I went a little bit farther than I wanted to. So anyways, here we are in this chunk at a pretty low Y level, and what I'm gonna do is press F3 and G at the same time to display our chunk borders here. And I pretty much just want to hollow out the entire chunk, but not just am I going to hollow out the entire chunk, but I'm also gonna go 2 blocks past the chunk. Since slimes can spawn to be pretty big, I want to make sure I give them a little bit of extra room to spawn in, because if I don't, the farm is still going to work, you're just losing some efficiency on your farm. But yeah, if you want to, press F3 and G at the same time to show your chunk borders. but that's only for Java Edition, not on Bedrock. I also like slime farms because they're so unique and versatile. Like, slimes spawn differently depending on the phase of the moon. What other mob does that? And it's also cool that if you don't know how to find a slime chunk, you could just build this on top of the ground in a swamp or a mangrove swamp and you'll be good to go. So let's hollow this out and we'll be on our way. It's also nice because slime farms don't really require a lot of materials. It's just some basic things. The slimes are going to die with this iron golem, and we have this little hopper minecart system in place just to collect all of the drops. I also do need magma blocks, I believe, but we can collect those later on. Okay, there we go. We've got this hollowed out. So with our chunk hollowed out, I also have the middle 4 blocks sort of outlined here. Now, chunks are not perfect in the sense that the middle is going to be 2 blocks instead of 1. So I just chose a random block to be my middle. So this isn't going to be a perfectly symmetrical farm. It's just the nature of this being a chunk farm. So what I'm going to do from this middle block, which is going to be this block right here, I'm going to dig out 1, 2, 3, 4. So essentially 4 blocks in each direction from what I chose to be the middle block. And now we're going to hollow out this entire section. Basically, on the middle block, we're going to have an iron golem fenced in, which will act as the bait for our slime. Basically, if you don't know, slimes will go towards iron golems. They try to kill them. So the slimes will walk towards the iron golem and will eventually be killed by our magma blocks. And then this hollowed area underneath will have our minecart with our hopper, which will collect all of the slime blocks that are dropped and deposit them nicely in a chest. You don't need minecarts in a hopper. If you want, you can simply just walk around, but it definitely is not as efficient at all, and I definitely recommend you do a minecart with a hopper. You'd have to go up to your AFK platform, come down, collect the slime balls, and repeat that process every like 5 minutes before the entities despawned. And it'd just be a big hassle. So now I'm gonna go to this corner here. It can be any corner. And I'm gonna dig out actually into the wall and make for myself a little room which will keep our chests. Well, we've got our little room. I'm gonna place my shulker box down here and my ender chest. And I'm gonna fly back up to the overworld because I need some chests and I also need some magma blocks. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, perfect. I'm too good. I'm too good. Ouch. I think I've got a stack of these. Raiding 100 ancient cities was totally worth it. Okay, I'm gonna place my collection chest. I'm also gonna place a chest to hold all of my junk for now. I just need to clear inventory in order to work properly. Okay, we've got our chest. Hopper going into it. Rail just like this, and one right there. Okay, so I'm gonna create a little wall really fast, and right here we're going to have a block here, a block here, and a block here. And then we need a comparator going this way, a repeater going this way, and a redstone torch. So pretty simple. We'll make this room look prettier later on. Right now it doesn't really matter for me. Well, that's it for the redstone, so let's get some rails placed down. Oh, I didn't mean to dig down into here. This little area underneath the farm is actually really interesting. We found it earlier on in the Let's Play. It was actually 2 spider farms connected to each other. Maybe I should have kept it for a farm, but I don't really need it, honestly. All we need to do is make sure that the rails always have enough power to travel all the way around here. So I got this technique from this creator, and I'm just gonna place the redstone all the way along here. And then we place our rails spiraling around this place, just like this, in this little twisting pattern almost. If you need more power, you can always place more powered rails, but I think this should be enough. Oh, am I gonna need more rails? I have more if I need to, thanks to our new and improved iron farm. It looks like I'm gonna need some more, unfortunately. Well, here we go. Can I do it? Oh, I did it! There we go. I was dumb and realized I already had an extra stack on me. I'm just not observant. Just ignore me. I'm really low IQ most of the time. Okay, let's do a little test just to make sure. We have our minecart with our hopper. And we push it. Can it do everything? Oh, look at this. So, when there are blocks above here, which we'll just use cobblestone for now, it'll actually pick up any entities that are on top here. Oh, I'm gonna need to do something about this. I'm stupid. Powered. Place the hopper, and this should definitely do it. Yeah, sometimes you just need a little trial and error. I'm gonna break this for now just because it's a little noisy, but we'll place it back in a little bit. Okay, sweet. Sometimes trial and error is all you need, so let's fill this whole little thing up. I can totally plug up that room we made because we won't even need to come back into this farm. Once it's totally set up, it'll just run on its own, and we can just sit back, relax, and collect tons and tons of slime balls. Well, I guess it's gonna look kind of ugly in here, but that's okay. So we have our middle block here, and what we need to do inside of this middle block is build ourselves an iron golem. That's how I'm gonna do this. Iron golem's gonna need plenty of space here. Gotta get up just like oh, nope. There we go. And now let's cage him in a little bit. Sorry, buddy. I'm not enslaving you. I think he's just, he's excited to be a helper, you know? How are you doing, buddy? You like it? I gave him some of the pretty new cherry fences, so he should like his new home. So we're almost done with this chunk. All I have to do is replace these blocks right here with magma. So essentially what's going to happen is the slimes just spawn in this area, and the slimes are attracted to the iron golem. But when they walk towards the iron golem, unfortunately, they are killed because they don't like the magma. So let's place this now, fill in this floor, and we fill in our magma block. Sure, it's working. We can place a few entities and see if they get picked up. Yep, it was picked up on the magma. Yep, there we go. Now all I'm gonna do is just fill in the ceiling a little bit because we really don't need it. And that's about it. Our farm is completely done. But we're not done because we still need to do some decorating. We're gonna build a second one, and we need an AFK platform. We are unfortunately going to have to AFK a little over 100 blocks from where we are. Usually it's about 120 blocks you want to go. You don't have to be too exact, but we're going to be extra safe. And we've got all the blocks we threw in the chest right here. Now, unfortunately, even though the farm is done, my work is not done because to increase my rates, what I'm going to do is try to search for all of the nearby caves and totally spawn-proof them. Slimes are unique because they can spawn in any light level under 7, whereas any other hostile mob needs a light level of exactly 0. So pretty much, if you place any torches, you're going to spawn-proof a large distance around the torch. In the F3 menu, you can check the light level. But we'll pretty much just dig around the farm, dig around the chunk, and try to find all of the caves and light up as much of it as we can. Thankfully, I've done most of it already by searching these caves near our house when we were mining for resources in the first video of this series, where we built the massive zoo. So honestly, I think we'll be okay. So this is the middle block. I just need to collect everything I need for a little AFK platform. I'm going to use scaffolding to get easily up to the Y level I need to, and then from there we just need to create a little dome over our head so that if we AFK for a long time, phantoms are not going to kill us. I actually forgot there's a vital step of the farm I totally skipped. I may have mentioned earlier how slimes spawn under light level 7, but if the light level is 0, like it is in there right now, that means other mobs are going to spawn, which isn't necessarily bad. If there's baby zombies or creepers or spiders, I'll gladly take the drops from them, but I want this to be a strict slime farm, so all we need to do is strategically place torches, or an even easier trick is a low light source like redstone torches, and try to get the light level in the entire farm to be greater than 0, but 7 or below. I just totally skipped that step. It really crossed my mind. Hopefully there's no creepers down there trying to blow up the whole farm. Okay, so I'm at Y level 49 here, and I'm going to try to just make myself a little AFK glass platform like this. I'm making it out of glass just so it doesn't cast a shadow and it's not too visible. So I can just use my elytra, fly up here, use my silk touch, place the glass, and I'll be safe. All this scaffolding, which is something super fun. I love to do this. Oh, I don't love to do that. Why am I popping so many totems today? Well, let's grab some more since apparently I love to be stupid today. All right, let's check the chest and see what's going on. Oh, well, we do have slime balls, so it works. There was a creeper I had to shoot down, but my suspicions were confirmed with the rotten flesh that there are unwanted mobs spawning in here. Let's see if we can take care of them without getting ourselves killed. Okay, so with F3 pressed, if you look at the XYZ coordinates, go 4 blocks down from there, and you will see where it says client light. And that chunk of text, that number represents the light level. So right now you can see it's 0. I place this redstone torch, and now it's 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, and right here it's 0. So place another redstone torch. Well, I guess I don't have to place it there. I guess what we can do is just place them at each end and then maybe place one right here, and hopefully none of these areas are 0. No, that's perfect. Okay, so I'll just place them at the ends of this chunk and then towards the middle of the chunk, and this should give us all the light we need to be under light level 7, but not light level 0. I think now we're good. I don't think there's any light level 0, but I also don't think we're above 7. Yeah, it doesn't even look like a redstone torch can get above 7. It looks like it's exactly 7. All right, perfect. This should be a-okay. Unfortunately, our iron golem buddy is a little beat up. There you go, buddy. Okay, let's AFK for a few minutes and just make sure that everything's working perfectly now. Okay, I've AFK'd for about 1 Minecraft day. Oh, well, let's be careful. Let's see what kind of drops we have from this farm. Oh, wow. Okay, well, we have 31 slime balls just from about 1 Minecraft day of AFK. But that wasn't even an entire day. It was just like the night. Oh, hello. It was just like the nighttime. So maybe like 10 to 15 minutes for half a stack. That's really not bad. Plus, we can create more layers and we can fill in that second chunk of the farm. With all of these new slime blocks, there is something we must do. Oh, yeah. I've been waiting to do this for a while. Come here, buddies. Oh, yes. We're gonna get more of you. Get you, and then you. Ooh. How do I climb up here? You two lovers, make baby. So now they even have all the water they needed to make some more baby frogs. This is perfect. Well, that's all I was excited for. I just wanted to breed some of the frogs so that we can get a frog army pretty soon. Plus, I'm gonna need more frogs for our froglight farm. So, like I was saying, right above the farm or right above where I enter the collection system, I wanted to make a giant slime. Both the YouTubers, the OneCube HD and the acookiegod, both did this with their slime farms. So, credit to them, but I thought it was a pretty cool idea, so I'm gonna do it myself. Now, I have a plethora of glass and green dye that I can use to make green stained glass. However, I don't have any green concrete, which is what I really want. Thankfully, concrete farms are super easy to make. The only thing is you need lots of concrete powder, but the only thing I need for that is gravel, sand, and dye. And I've got literally stacks and stacks of gravel, as well as a lot of sand because I collected way too much during my last couple farm builds, so I should totally be okay with that. And here we have it. I just wanted to create a simple concrete farm next to my house, and I thought it was only going to be temporary, but I decided, you know what? Why don't we keep it here forever and decide to make it look pretty? So right under the cherry tree, I decided to use a lot of the new cherry blocks, and I think cherry looks really good with warped wood. I also put some of the new pitcher plants and torch flowers, and I think it looks pretty nice. But the simple premise here is just a hopper with water, an observer, a dropper, and the dropper is filled with concrete powder. And here's what we do. This is a very interesting farm. We press right click and then we hold left click while doing that. And while doing this, press F3 and T. And you can let go of your mouse buttons. And what happens is we're reloading the resource packs. But when we come back, give it a sec and bam. I am not touching my mouse right now. This is a fully automatic concrete farm. So I can just sit here and the observer notices the change in block and triggers that dropper right above me. The dropper then gives me more concrete powder. I probably shouldn't have put a whole stack in my inventory. I probably should have done a little bit less. But here we go. And then to break the farm, I can just move or click. And it stops for a second. And I look and we have 60 lime concrete. Or, you know, you don't need to be doing this fully auto. You can just press right click and then hold both mouse buttons at the same time. But this is still pretty fun. This is a pretty quick way to get lots of concrete. And if I want to switch colors, I can just put a different color concrete powder in here. Or put a different color concrete powder in my hand. So there we go. We have like 3 stacks of lime concrete. So I'll need a little bit more lime concrete, and then I'm also gonna get some dark lime concrete, and it should be pretty good. But yeah, I think this little shack looks pretty cute next to our house. It definitely fits in. I definitely want to take up a build project soon where I make an entire cherry grove village. So that'll hopefully be a build project in the future. So let's farm some more concrete and we will get our slime up and running. Okay, so first we're gonna need a nice big flat area for this slime. I don't really know how big I'm gonna make this. I think I'm just gonna kind of wing it and we'll see how it looks. This little slime guy is gonna need a name. If you have any good name suggestions for the slime we're about to build, let me know down in the comments below. I don't know what I want to name him, but I think he definitely deserves a name. Well, I kind of want to like mark a border. Okay, I think 32 blocks wide should be enough. It seems like a good width, and it's not perfectly in line with the farm, but it's good enough. And then slimes are a perfect cube, I believe, so we just have to build up 32 blocks as well. There we go. Dang, maybe I messed up. This is going to require a lot of blocks. Actually, I don't think it'll be too bad. I'm just going to need a lot of lime concrete, which hopefully won't be too hard to get. Thankfully, with our bone meal farm and our cactus farm, we can use that to make lime dye. I think so. I've already got tons of dyes made, so I should be good for a little bit of time at least. Well, I guess let's fill them in. I doubt this is going to be enough. Okay, and with that, we have our big block of lime concrete. Thing's a dang green screen. I love it. I wonder if I sit here, would this actually work as a green screen? I don't know. I'll have to edit that and figure that out. Well, it's not looking much like a slime yet, so let's add some eyes and a mouth because I think it deserves that. Okay, well, you know what? This lad looks pretty good so far. He's not perfect, but you know what? He's cute and he's my friend. So we're gonna respect it. Now I just need to continue using this green and lime dye for a ton of glass around this dude. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna look at pictures of slimes and try to figure it out. Okay, well, here he is with just glass covering the front of his body. I also decided to go back inside and change the green concrete to black concrete because I think it looks a little bit better now that we've got glass covering it. And I've only covered the front of him with glass because it's gonna take a long time to do the whole thing. I will do the whole body, don't get me wrong, but for now, this is just what it looks like. I also don't know if I'll have enough glass to finish the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think he looks pretty cool and pretty cute in the background. What do you guys think? He definitely fits in well. I like it. The only downside is this AFK platform does not look great hanging out there. But you know what? It's not a big deal. I think the last thing we need for this slime is a name. So if you guys have any good name suggestions for him, let me know down below. It just feels weird to have this big slime monument and not have a name to it. But there we go, we've now got a massive slime farm, which is expandable. We can add as many layers as we want, and we can use that slime for tons of stuff. I'm so excited to finally make myself a froglight farm because I've been wanting froglights for a while, and I also haven't ever made a froglight farm before. I think it'd be really cool to try out. But anyways, guys, my name is JWhisp. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys all in the next video.